Why am I against salary cap? I've never been a fan of salary cap in baseball, only because I just feel like, small market teams have won the World Series before. We've seen it, and you can do your research on who's a small market team and who's not. We've seen the Angels, not the Angels, sorry. We've seen the Royals, in 2015. They beat my Mets. I could never forget that. We've seen the Marlins win twice, small market. The Nationals did it in 2019. Their payroll is not high. So, say what you will, small market teams can compete. We've seen the Guardians, a small market team, make the playoffs every season the last couple of years. I have no issue. Like, people are so worried about what the Dodgers are doing. And the Dodgers are doing exactly what the Yankees did in the late 90s, early 2000s, to tell you the truth. You can't have vitriol for the Dodgers and say that they have an advantage or this, that, and the third. But when George Steinbrenner ran the Yankees in the late 90s, early 2000s, he went out. He got Scott Brocious. He got Chuck Knobloch. He got Paul O'Neill. He got Roger Clemens, David Wells. Later on, after the dynasty ended, Gary Sheffield, Johnny Damon, Randy Johnson. He basically opened the checkbook and bought all these great players. You know how many Hall of Fame players that are not homegrown Yankees were playing on the same team at the same time? Like, if you weren't mad when the Yankees did it back then, you can't be mad at the Dodgers now. That's why I'm against the salary cap. And we've seen small market teams or mid to small market teams get in the World Series as of late. Arizona Diamondbacks were there in 2023. Again, the Nationals won in 2019. So, like, what are we really talking about here? It's been proven in not just baseball, but in all sports, that just because you have the biggest payroll doesn't mean you're going to win. So that's that. Look at the Angels. The Angels haven't even made the playoffs. In 2019, the Angels still had a prime Mike Trout, a prime Anthony Rendon they brought over. 2020, sorry. Prime Anthony Rendon they brought over. Shohei Ohtani, who's been great since the moment he stepped on American baseball fields, and a still serviceable Albert Pujols, and still didn't win a damn thing. A lot of fans are saying, oh, well, the Dodgers need to be investigated. We need to put a salary cap on baseball. No, we don't need a salary cap on baseball. We don't need a salary cap. As I said earlier, just because you have the biggest payroll does not mean that you will win it all. Look at us in 2022. The Mets won 101 games with Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom and all these other guys. Got Justin Verlander the next season for half a season. Mets had the highest payroll in baseball in 22 and 23, and we didn't win. We didn't win. We didn't even get to the playoffs in 23. The Dodgers, they went to the World Series and won it in 2020. They didn't get back to the World Series till 2024. Nationals won in 2019. Royals won in 2015. Since the expanded wild card era, where it was 4 teams in the playoffs instead of 2 in each league. The Marlins have won it twice. There's no worse small market team than the Miami Marlins or the Florida Marlins back then. So it's like, what are we discussing here? Arizona's usually in the mix every couple of seasons. Like what are we really talking about in this conversation? I understand the Dodgers are throwing money at people and they're signing. But also, you have to remember, it's not just about the money. The Dodgers have won each of the last 2 World Series, and they've won 3 in 5 years. They won 3 in 5 years. Who wouldn't want to go to a place where you have the best chance to win? As mad as I am about Edwin Diaz going to the Dodgers, I understand why he did it. And he wanted to stay, but Stearns wanted to play cute and bring his guy Devin Williams. But other than that, his brother is there. He won 2 World Series. They won 2 World Series back to back. And they probably have a pretty darn good chance to repeat and be the first team since those dreaded evil Empire Yankees of the late 90s, early 2000s to win 3 in a row. 98, 99, 2000. So I don't blame anybody who goes to the Dodgers. I don't blame Kyle Tucker for going to the Dodgers. Now, my issue in all of this is all the deferred money that they're tossing around because they still have mega pay. I mean, is it smart? Yes. Is it within the rules? Yes. But it's looking like an abuse of the rules. When they signed Shohei Ohtani prior to the 2024 season, they deferred a lot of money in Shohei's contract. Plenty of money in Shohei's contract was deferred. But they deferred the money so that they could use the available money to go get other players. Understandable. They get Diaz has got a decent amount of deferred money, as does Tucker. But it's within the rules. I'm not mad at it. When the Yankees did it, there was no deferred money involved. And everybody either really loved him if you were a Yankee fan or you hated him. And I'm not going to touch on it because we've talked about it several times. But I don't think baseball needs a salary cap because, again, you look at the highest payrolls. Just because you have the highest payroll doesn't mean anything. The Mets had it for a couple of years. The last couple of years didn't even sniff the playoffs one of those years. And that payroll wasn't high when we went to the NLCS in 2024. Come on, Luis Severino, Jose Iglesias, they were on the David Stern special contracts. 1 year. Sean Manaea is Stern special. So that payroll wasn't big when we were one opponent away from a World Series. So I don't think baseball needs a salary cap. You can spend as much as you want. Doesn't mean that the other team isn't going to come sneak you. Just ask the Diamondbacks how they got to the World Series in 2023 when everybody thought the Phillies were just going to have a cakewalk and walk their way into the World Series that year.